Hello, hello. I am so sleepy. But I did promise that I was going to get on tonight, and time is dwindling very fast. So, okay. I don't think I'll be on too long. That moon energy is hitting me, and I am, whoo. So, tonight is a full moon. I am currently in Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States of America, and tonight is a wolf full moon. And I think you're supposed to be able to see Mars. And I couldn't quite see it from where I was, but I can be honest, I did not go that far outside. The moon is beautiful, by the way. She always is. And so she's beautiful and she's bright tonight. And I did want to stop by and let you know about a moon ritual that I saw on Instagram that I just did, and I thought it was a good time to share it with you all. So there is, as you know, it is a full moon tonight, and usually on full moons you get, we call it like a portal. On 2 days on the front, 2 days on the back, is when the portal opens. And generally, there used to be a saying that when the full moon, the werewolf comes out, which is true in the sense because it's the werewolf inside of you, because it makes people very emotional around full moons. So we have a saying, when when emotions are high, intelligence is low. And that's kind of where that term, that werewolf comes out, because around full moons you're experiencing a lot of different emotions and you don't necessarily know why, but it's really all aligned with the planets and the way that things are happening. And so around the moon is an emotional time, because the moon sets our emotions. Like the sun is, it sets the day, and it's so, it's for growth and stuff. And then the moon is at night, and so that's that inner work that you have to do, right? That's where you have that, hey stranger. And so it's that inner work and that inner peace that you have to do in the dark in order to get to the light that you actually seek, right? So at night, that's why we say, the werewolf comes out during the full moon, because that's when all the emotions that you've had stored up and you have not processed, those tend to come out around the full moon time. So be very aware of your energy around this time. It started 2 days ago when the portal opened, and you have 2 more days on the back end. So be mindful of your emotions. When emotions are high, intelligence is low. And that basically means that when you are, hi Jacob, hi Eva. So I'm talking about the moon tonight. If you are in the United States, it is a full moon tonight. So I'm not sure where you are. I'm not sure if it's still a full moon, if it's another day for you. But basically, around full moon times, people tend to, oh, okay, Canada. So you may be seeing the moon as well. Hey Preppy. So when we like to say that when emotions are high, intelligence is low, because during the full moon, what happens is your emotions are all over the place, because the full moon dictates your emotions. Like for women, if you're not, like, if you have a menstrual cycle and you're not on like birth control, the moon dictates our cycles. So that's how you know when it's coming. Like, okay, full moons and new moons. Every full moon or new moon, you should start looking, especially if you're not on a pill or something. You can start to notice how your cycle aligns with the moon. And so that's how you can gauge what time of the month it is and all that stuff. So a lot of these things are happening around, this is why nature is so important and so interesting, because of what it does, and a lot of people just don't know these things. So because it is a full moon tonight, there are certain things that you can be aware of, certain things that you cover your ears. It's okay. Well, I don't know how old you are, but I was gonna say we're adults. It's okay. These are just natural things that happen, and most people just don't know. And it's one of those things that once you understand it, once you learn it, then you'll know. Especially if you're dating or you're in a relationship with somebody, right? You'll start to notice these things and you'll start to see triggers. And a lot of times for men, it does the for women it makes our cycles come on, but for men it makes them extremely horny, if you will, right? So they'll also have those moments too. Yes, I know, right? And so they'll start to get a little antsy around this time too. So you just be mindful of it, right? But these are our emotions, these are our feelings, this is what happens in our bodies around around the things that are happening around the earth. So it's a natural thing. It happens to all of us. So just be mindful of it. Now that you know, now that you're aware of it, you can plan for it, you can gauge for it. So around full moon times, I'm always mindful of what I'm doing and what I'm experiencing. If I'm feeling my energy, if like you may have been experiencing a lot of people getting upset with you, right? You may be experiencing a lot of people getting irritated with you, or maybe they're getting or maybe you're getting emotional, maybe you're getting irritated. These are the things that are happening because of the full moon, because of the energy that's going around, and energy is always being transferred to different things. So as you are yes, Jacob. So as you are going through the next couple of days, I want you to be mindful of your energy. I want you to be mindful of the things that you're doing and how people are reacting to you. Because when people start to pop off, I want you to remember, hey, it's the full moon energy that's still in the air. It's still around. And so people tend to get, like we say, when emotions are high, intelligence is low. So, in these times, you're very mindful of your energy and how you're reacting. If you feel yourself getting overwhelmed, if you feel yourself getting frustrated, be mindful of that because it is the full moon energy. And tonight is a wolf full moon. So, there's a lot of things happening in our solar system with the planets and everything. So, it dictates a lot of the way that we feel, a lot of our emotions, and most people just don't know that stuff. So I'm just giving you a little heads up so that way when you have these moments and you have these feelings, you know where they're coming from and you know how to better gauge them moving forward. So that's that's really the gist of it. But it's really interesting because it's a full moon and it's a wolf full moon, which means there's that's right, it's very crazy. It's a full moon and it's one of those things where I think you can see Mars actually tonight, which is really interesting because like all the like you can see the planets align. I wish I had like a telescope where I could really see it really good. But the moon is out and she looks gorgeous. She is bright and shiny, and yeah, it's just amazing to see. I love looking at the planets and the moon and the stars and just seeing how all of it fits together, how everything pieces together to make the things that we have. And a lot of times the stuff that we're unaware of, if you look at like how space is going, it changes so much of our moods and our emotions. That's why we always say be mindful of what you're doing and what you're saying, because everything is connected, right? Everything is connected. Even the fact that, when we have the daylight savings time and different things like that, all that's connected. So even though, it's getting darker, it's colder, that affects your emotionals because a lot of people around this time get very depressed. You don't have a lot of sunlight. It's really cold. You don't want to be outside. But that energy that you get from the sun is what keeps you high vibrational. It's what makes you motivated. It's what makes you happy, because it's like a energizer for you. It's like a battery that you go outside, you just get absorb some of that sun, and it helps you to get that vitamin D, right? It gives you that extra, it's just that extra energy that you're looking for, but you don't even realize how important it is until you don't have it, until you start to live. Like I lived in a basement for I want to say about a year and a half. This is about 3 or 4 years ago, and when I first moved to Atlanta, I lived in the basement, and that was because I had a dog. And at the time, the place that I was staying with was scared of dogs, and I didn't want to leave my dog. I had a Chihuahua at the time. He's gone on to glory now. He died in June. So I don't have him anymore. But he, at the time, I didn't want to leave him because he was a little Chihuahua. He was like, 10, 12 pounds. And so the person I lived with didn't want me to, was scared of dogs. So I said, okay, well, I'll just stay in the basement with him. That way, and it wasn't like fully furnished type basement, but it was hardwood floors and stuff like that. So, and initially I was like, oh, this is great. This is a nice little hideaway. I could put I had, there was a way out from the basement. So I had that. I was able to go out from the basement and have my own little space. But over time, what I realized is the basement is very dark. The basement is very cold. And at the time, I didn't realize, the power would go out and it'd get really dark. And I don't like darkness. I don't like that environment like that. And everything seemed to be really hard in the basement, right? All this brick. And the person I stayed with didn't like bugs, right? So they would border up the windows. So I mean, when I say border the windows, like they're closed, like nails and everything to cover up the windows so nothing could get in, but then nothing can go right. You can't see anything out. And so very quickly I realized how important sunlight was, how important it is to get out and be in the sunshine and be in the sunshine and just be absorbing all of that vitamin D and really being able to just connect with other people, right? Because it's interesting how much your mood changes even though you may be introverted. You may like, I don't like people like that, but people in general give you so much more than just conversation. It's just the energy being around them that you can feed off of. If I have high energy and you have low energy, just being in my space, I'm able to give you the extra energy that you need so that you can make it through the rest of the day, or whatever whatever load that you're bearing. Other people can share that with you just by being with you in those areas, in that space. Like a lot of people are empaths, and so I myself was an empath. And when I go to events and concerts, I know how to manage my energy. So I'm very high energy. I'm very loving. I'm very kind. I'm loving hugs, and I love being with other people because I I can thrive on that. However, I can give you most of my energy because I have a lot to give. Now, once I leave you, then I'm going to need to recharge because I'm going to be drained, and I have to take that time to bring myself back up to the energy that I once was. But I'm able to recharge rather quickly, so I don't mind it. But being in other people's space gives you that energy that you sometimes can't get from yourself, especially if you don't get it from the sun, especially if you're not out, if you're not walking, if you're not meditating, if you're not grounding. Grounding is when you go outside and you just put, excuse me, and you just put your bare feet in the grass, right? Grounding is one of those things that, I don't know if you ever seen the video, like you can literally pull energy, and you can literally just by standing out in the sun with your feet in the grass, it helps like to regenerate your body. It's just everything we have here in nature is just so beautiful, and you don't need to go anywhere else. You don't need to do anything. It just is already here if you understand how it works and where to get it from, because it's already here. Can different types of moons result in different types of emotions? Great question. So yes, so moons have a lot of different, there's a lot of different energy happening all the time. And so everybody has different emotions that can contribute to that moon. So when emotions are high, intelligence is low. And a lot of times that just means that wherever your energy is, it can be, I'm at low battery. Oh, I'm about to, oh, okay. So energy can just change over time. And so you have to be mindful of your emotions, because your emotions will dictate the things that are happening around you. And so because it's a full moon, everybody has that little bit of a little bit emotions that have been hiding inside of you, that you tend to want to let out and lash out at people around this time, because it's a full moon. And that's why we talk about, when it's a full moon, the werewolf comes out, but that's the werewolf within you, because you are expressing the emotions that you've been hiding for so long. And because the moon is essentially like covering the sun, right? That's why she's so bright, right? Because she's like covering the sun. And so because of that, what's done in the dark, right? It's this that part of you that has been hidden for so long tends to want to come up out of you. So you just have to be mindful of your emotions around this time, because it's easy to feel it and easy to pop off or lash out at somebody. Like, let me know. I don't know if any of you have been feeling rather sleepy but irritable. Are you feeling like lazy, but also like anything can set you off? Around full moon times, it's just one of those things where most people just get very irritable. Most people's emotions, it doesn't take much to set somebody off. Like, you got to be mindful of the situations that you're in and the people you're around, right? Like, don't go into really big crowds right about now, because that's just a lot of energy all in one place. And so it doesn't take much to get people excited, to get people angry and stuff. So you just have to be mindful of that stuff. So tonight is a full moon. It's the wolf moon. I think you should be able to see Mars if you're in certain areas of the world. And it'll last, it started 2 days ago. We call it like the portal. And the portal, when it opens, it allows you to clear things. So the full moon is a clearing, and it's a time for releasing. It's a time for letting go of things. And so one ritual that you can do if you choose, and I did it earlier tonight, is because it's a full moon, they call it moon water. So you take a piece of paper and you write down all of your affirmations that you want to happen in this next cycle, right? So you write, and your affirmations could be like, I am, and but you write it as though you already have it. Excuse me. I am wealthy. I am capable. I am courageous. I am making six figures. I am making digital products. I am in my new job. I am in my new house. I am happy I'm in this new relationship. So you're writing all of your affirmations. Take a piece of paper out, write all your affirmations down. And then on the other side, I want you to write all the things that you're letting go, so that you can receive the affirmations that you want. Hi, Roshan. My name is Aysia. And so tonight we're talking, hey Z. And so tonight we're talking about the full moon and the things that you can do to bring more of what you want into your life. So you can take a piece of paper, write down all your affirmations, and write them as though they're already happening or that you already have them. I am smart. I am courageous. I have a six-figure income. I moved into my new place. I got this new job. I just married my partner. I just got this. I got a new dog. Whatever the case is, whatever things that you want in your life. So you write them all down, and then on the opposite side, you're gonna write all the things that you're letting go of. I am letting go of the limitations. I'm letting go of the things that are holding me back. I am letting go of toxic people. I am letting go of toxic environments. I am letting go of things that no longer serve me. I am letting go of the bad energy that is surrounding me. I'm letting go of whatever the things you are no longer wanting in your life. You write that on a piece of paper, and then you're going to fold that piece of paper, and you're going to put it in the windowsill, and then you're going to put some water on top of it. So, like a bottle of water or whatever, but it needs to be clear. So that way when the moon can clear it, right? So while we're wanting the things to come into us, we're releasing the things we no longer want. And so you're going to take that piece of paper and you're going to put some water on top. Make sure it's a clear so that it can be cleared, right? So we're releasing things and we're going to clear it out and leave it in the windowsill overnight, or you can set it outside. And then tomorrow, when you wake up or when you see it again, then you drink the water because it's cleared. And so you're drinking your affirmations and you're going to drink the things that you want to come in. So that is one thing that you can do for tonight because it is the full moon. And even if you are ahead of me and it's not quite still the full moon, you can still do it because the portal is still open. The full moon is tonight. It's tonight in America, but it's 2 days on the front and 2 days on the back. So you still have time to do it, thank you, Jacob, even if it's the next day for you, can still do it. You still have time to do it, okay? So, yeah, I'm really excited about what this new moon or this full moon is going to do. It is a wolf moon. I think you are able to see Mars depending on where your location is. You should have been able to see Mars. And a lot of things are happening in the world. And a lot of energy is being transferred. A lot of things are being transformed. A lot of manifesting is happening right now. And so this is a good time to declutter. This is a good time to get rid of things that you no longer want. This is a good time to release things. So I did the moon water ritual is what I was referring to. However, normally what I would do is I would write things I no longer want, and then I would take it outside and put it in a bowl, and I would burn it, and I would burn it down until it's ashes, and then I would also bury it into the ground. And that is something you can also do as well if you feel inclined to really release something that you really want to let go of. Because what seems to happen, and this is just in my opinion, if there's something that I want and I'm stuck and I can't get it here mentally, then I have to do something physically to release it so I can have it. If I'm having a mental block, I do something in the physical to release my mental block, because we are spiritual beings having a human experience, right? So we have a lot of things going on in our mind, but in order for that stuff to come out, we have to do something physically. That's why last night I was telling you about journaling and how important journaling is, because the things that you have in your head, sometimes you can't process. It's like you're just stuck in every area. You don't know how to move. But by journaling and by putting that stuff on paper, it allows your brain to release some of that stress of, I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't know how I can fix this. I don't know what to do. I feel stuck. I feel overwhelmed. And by writing and releasing that stuff, you're able to just let that stuff go. You're able to just be able to, you know, give that to somebody else, give that energy somewhere else. And so now you can move forward. And that's really what manifesting is. Manifesting is putting it out there and then letting it come back to you in whatever way it comes to you. Like when you see the fountains, the water fountains, or the fountains outside, and people take a penny and they make a wish and they throw it in there. It's the same thing. You make that wish of what you want to happen to your life, and you throw it in the water, right? And so that's the water is cleansing, right? The water is releasing. Water is a very powerful tool, right? That's why our bodies are made of more than 70% water. And so water holds energy, but the way that water holds energy, if you have good vibrations and you talk to yourself in a positive way, those things can come back to you. But you know what happens with water, right? When you drop something in it, it ripples, right? It ripples, and it has a rippling effect, whether good or bad. It has that rippling effect. So you have to be mindful of what you're saying to yourself at all times, what you're doing, how you're feeling, because it always has a rippling effect. So if you're talking to yourself negatively and your body is 70% water, it's just rippling over and over again in your mind, over and over again, and throughout your body. That's why you feel it. That's why you feel all that emotion. That's why all that energy is stored in you, and you feel helpless, and you feel like you can't move forward, and you feel like you can't do these things. But by changing that narrative, by releasing some of that stuff, by decluttering, by cleansing your body, by doing fasting, by drinking more water, by doing that moon water thing that I was telling you about earlier, that's how you start to release that stuff. That's how you start to cleanse that stuff out of your system, right? You can't keep all that stuff, right? That's like muddy water and you're just holding it. You just can't. You have got to let it go because it has to go somewhere. Otherwise, it's gonna make you sick. So, is this full moon like a cleanse for us? Yes, yes, it absolutely is. So, if you're feeling like, I've been talking to a lot of people who felt like 2024 was not a very like amazing year. Not nothing really crazy happened for a lot of people, but a lot of things were slowly but surely being planted in you. And so now in 2025, you get to see how it all plays out because now you've been in the incubator, if you will. You've been learning all these things and you've been experiencing all these things from 2024, and now you get to see how they play out for you in 2025. So it's a good year for being able to really manifest the things that you want, really being able to see how well life unfolds for you. And good news, even if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can start now. You can start today. You don't have to wait. It's not something that if you've missed it this far, you can't get it. Anybody can manifest the things that they want. We are all human. We're spiritual beings, but we all have the same components inside of us. And so we're more alike than we are different. I have the same fears. We may not have the exact same fears, but we all have comfort zones, right? We all have a space where this feels comfortable for us. Even though we may be nervous, we may be afraid, we want to step out the comfort zone, but it's just so peaceful here because, well, not peaceful, but it's something that is familiar to us. Comfort zones are familiar to us, so we don't ever want to leave them. But we know that if we stay there, it just seems so monotonous. It's the same thing day after day after day after day. And you want something different for your life. If you're looking for something new, you're looking for something more exciting, then you have to step outside that comfort zone. Do you know what it's going to be like? No, it's an unknown feeling. It's a fear because you've never experienced it before. However, if it's calling you and you feel led and you feel compelled to do something different, and it's something that you can't explain it, and it doesn't come with any of the five senses, right? Hearing, sight, smell, taste, touch. Like, if you can't explain it, then I think that is something that you have to do because it's outside of you, because you're being called from a place that's outside of you. If it's something that you can't explain, but you have that feeling, you have that calling, you have that desire to do it, then I feel like you owe it to yourself to at least try to do it. At least try, at least step outside of that comfort zone and do something in that realm. Even if it's like let's say it's public speaking, maybe like you feel the need to do something in this space of maybe even going live on YouTube or posting a video, and you're like, I feel like I should do it, but I'm so nervous, I'm so scared, then I want you to take the time and really write out, like, why are you scared? What is it that you're afraid of? Are you afraid that people will talk bad about you? Are you afraid of the negative comments you may get? Are you afraid of, your family, looking at you or nobody following you? Just write all the things that you are fearful of, and then I want you to let that go, and then I want you to write all the beautiful things that can happen when you do these things, because most of the times you end up helping people, and you have more people that are on your side than more people that are against you. And so what you'll find is the people that you need to speak to will find they will find you faster than you can find them. They will just gravitate towards you because it's like that energy, like I'm talking about the full moon and the energy. It's just that simple. Once you turn on your light, they will attract themselves to you. They're like, something just tells me I need to go this way. Something just tells me I need to be on YouTube today. Something just tells me I need to click here. Something just tells me this is supposed to be something that I'm supposed to hear, something that I'm supposed to experience. And it just happens just like that. Like, when you turn on at night, you turn on that light and all the bugs come to the light, right? It's just that it's that same attraction. When you start showing who you are and being in your authentic self and you start projecting your stuff, people will gravitate to you because that is something that they're just attracted to it because it's just a feeling, right? It's in a feeling and it's an energy that they're attracted to. So, Roshan, I am in my 30s. Can you believe it? I have a baby face. That's what I've been told. But I'm in my 30s. So, when you are um, when you are authentic to yourself and you are shining your light, people will gravitate to you and they will want more of what you have because you are the only one that can project and talk in the way that you have, and you're the only one that has ever had your experience, right? Nobody has have your exact experience, and you are the only one who can speak on your exact experience, and so people will like to hear it from you. I heard this quote from, I think it was Ryan Serhant, and he said that basically, yes, people can hear all kinds of information from all kinds of different places, but they want to hear it from you. They want to hear from you, your experience, and the way that you say it, and the way that you relay it, and the way that you talk about it. And because of that, that's why you need to do what you need to do. That's why you need to be out in front. That's why you need to talk. That's why you need to project. That's why you need to put your face out there or put your words out there. Maybe you're not physically on camera. Maybe you're just reading behind maybe you're writing it down. Maybe you're doing quotes. Maybe you're doing voiceover. So you're showing a video of somebody else, but it's your voice. Like people who make cakes and then they talk about crazy stories about, so this one time, blah, 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 blah. And they're making a cake, but they're talking about a story. There are so many different ways to be creative. So I don't want you to feel like you have to do anything a certain kind of way, but I do want you to at least try and put yourself out there because what you'll find is that the world needs more of you. The world needs so much more of you. You are the light and you are just going to shine and you'll see how many people will gravitate towards you. So that's all I think I'm gonna talk about today. I am literally at 2% and I do not wanna just hang up on y'all, but I don't think my phone is gonna last too much longer. Okay. You really do have a baby face. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I know. I get that all the time, but that's the only I don't know how to change it. But, now I've gotten older, so now I think I understand it more, right? And the older we get, the more we understand the gifts that we were given and why we were given them in that manner. So, I'm going to jump off of here because I'm at 2%. But I want you all to have a wonderful, wonderful night. I want you to take this time to, whether you're meditating, you're decluttering, you're drinking water, you're writing your affirmations, you're writing what you need to let go of, whether you're doing the moon water, writing your affirmations, writing what you want to come in, writing what you're letting go of, and then taking that paper, putting it in the windowsill or putting it outside and putting some water on top of it. And then that way the moon can cleanse it. And then when the tomorrow comes, then you drink that water. And so you're drinking your affirmations so that you are starting fresh. You're releasing the old and bringing on the new. And I am looking forward to seeing how you all just flourish in this new year, in this new season. And thank you. God bless you too. And we'll see. And I will see you all tomorrow. God bless.